Hey, hey, hey. Hey, okay. Out to the pay, for the grass is always greener. I don't do no labels, I call it how I see it. Okay, out to the pay, for the grass is always greener. I don't do no labels, I call it how I see it.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of No Label, the podcast. Here with my boy Nell.
Yo.
Special shout outs to everybody that's been subscribing on YouTube as normal, liking on Instagram, sharing, commenting, Facebook, TikTok, X, everything. We appreciate y'all as normal. Go over and head over to nolabelthepod.com.
Where you can subscribe for our newsletter. Keep up with everything No Label the Pod. We got exclusive content, exclusive deals for merch and all that stuff. So it serves us and it serves you to sign up for that newsletter. Just a simple email address and we'll send everything to you directly. Today, we're sitting down with probably one of the earliest names that I can remember when it comes to DJing.
Wow, yeah.
Like literally like a child, I had to sit in the middle seat. I can't even sit on the edge of the car. I'm in the back seat in the middle, listening to the radio and hearing this man's mixes and songs like just non-stop. And I just know for a fact there's such a wealth of knowledge from just radio stations, parties, events, anything you can think of when it comes to Buffalo music. This man has been a part of, and it doesn't say enough of his skill set alone. We sit down with DJ HASSAN. How
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for having me. I like the movement. I like what you guys are doing. I've been checking out people and watching who you've been interviewing, and so I just want to say thank you for having me, and I'm glad to be here and glad I can sit in this chair.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
I'm hyped. Let's go. What's happening?
This is super dope. So we always like to start with, I guess, like Buffalo born and raised.
Buffalo born and raised, yes.
Where?
Yes,
So
indeed.
what high school did you go to?
Been in high school.
Okay.
Been in high school. Yep.
What was Bennett like at that time? I know it was like a lost vocational type of thing.
So I graduated in the early 90s. I actually graduated in 92.
Okay.
Yeah, and so 4 years. So when I get there, 89-ish. Then it was. In my opinion, Bennett was always a school of school spirit. It was a big school of school spirit and school fashion. You know what I mean? So like back then, man, we was all about football, basketball, wearing your Bennett High jackets, jerseys, and it was it had its squabbles every now and then, but the school itself, it was really school pride and stuff like that. Miss Whitman, she wasn't playing no games. That was the principal back then. She wasn't playing no games. So yeah, it was good then.
That's dope. And that's early 90s. So
yeah.
Where did you start falling in love with music and DJing by then, or were you doing parties and stuff?
No, by then I was already in.
Okay.
I was already in. I started falling in love with DJing in the probably mid 80s. In the mid 80s, watching old school DJs. And please forgive me if I forget your name, because I'm gonna hear about it. But not forget your name, but forget to mention your name. So before me, there was a lot of DJs that came before me that I grew up watching. 3 of my biggest influencers that influenced me in the game from Buffalo has passed away. They're long gone. But that truly got me in the game. But since the ones that's still living, DJs like DJ Kid Cole, DJ Warlock, DJ my man Magic, Slick Mike, the list just goes on and on and on. There's so many of them. Pete Worm, Montana Crew, because they was crews back then. It was crew. You had DJ Cruz back then. Wolf D.
Were they crews? Did they
Wolf.
have like a DJ and like an MC and
So back then, DJ crews had DJs and MCs. It might have been a whole group of just DJs. And if you were a DJ back then, you rocked the mic. You didn't have a hype man and all that. Like, you might have had an MC and a DJ. Sometimes they did that, but for the most part, the DJs back in the 80s, they controlled their crowd. A lot of them did. And then you did have some crews, that I remember from back then too, that get on the mic and talk that stuff. So, yeah.
You said 3 of your DJ inspirations passed away. Who were those 3?
Yeah, so my man DJ, so Tony Frazier was that's his government name. They called him DJ Effing Fresh. I ain't gonna say that I don't know where we at. But and then and then Joey Kennett passed away, and John Kennett. So in my neighborhood. So I grew up Delavan, Pleasant, Maston Boys and Girls Club, School 74. That's where I went. And in that neighborhood, these were DJs, right? Those were the DJs that literally, I had one next door to me, so we'd be outside playing street football, but I'll hear them upstairs mixing. Now, mind you, I'm a kid. I ain't play street football. I went upstairs and started learning how to DJ. So those DJs inspired me before that. And then back when the Juneteenth, man, used to be on Jefferson, man, that was a big thing. And then it moved to Fillmore, DJ crews, battles, all that stuff. That's what inspired me. That's what got me in, because it was.
They said battles at the Juneteenth?
Oh man, DJ battles was off the chain.
And when did it move over to Fillmore from Jefferson? What year?
So I want to say, I don't know the exact year, because I was still 12, 13, 14 years old at the time. So we would have to do the research on that to see when it moved from Jefferson to Fillmore. But what I remember is that those times, right? You had the parade, you had love, you had unity. But right after the parade ended, man, it was a DJ on every block. There was break dancers on every block. They was waving, ticking, popping, rapping, MCs, and there was vendors and there was stuff. So me growing up seeing that, right? It wasn't about the money at that time. It was the love of music. Mm-hmm. It was the love of music. And I'm gonna tell you, then you needed skill. You needed skill. There was turntables, man. You had to be able to grab your records, go in the crates, grab your records and rock out. You know what I mean? And keep the crowd dancing with your vinyl. So that was what got me into it and made me fall in love with it.
So you don't think you need skill now, or you don't need skill as much?
Well, put it like this. Let me tell you, coming from where I came from into what I'm DJing on now, there's stuff like the sync button.
Synchronizers, yeah.
I could look at the computer and see that I'm off beat. I don't have to listen and see if I can look and see. So most DJs that grew up like I grew up DJing nowadays is easier, and in my opinion, it doesn't require as much skill as it did back then to just rock a party. And I'm gonna tell you something else too along those same lines is the crowd don't really make you don't require you to have that much skill either.
I get that.
You understand what I'm saying?
I can get
because nowadays,
break it down a little more.
Nowadays, they just want you to play their song.
They just want to play the songs that they want to hear.
Yeah, play the song that I heard.
They can care less about that transition, about that mix, girls hate you jiggy all over their song. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. Play the song. Play the song, man. Play the song. And even nowadays, right now, because I'm still DJing high school proms, I'm still DJing for graduations and stuff like that. they don't people most of those kind of parties only want to hear the first 2 minutes of the song or they part of the song.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when if I drop, man, I got that swag, right after he done with that hook, I'm on to the next song. That don't require skill to DJ. You don't need a skill. What skill do you need to go from one hook to the next hook? Nothing. Just press the button and go.
Yeah, and they got buttons. You can hit the joint. You ain't gotta pull the disc back to your line and make sure it's scratched right.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that, or you were saying that a couple of podcasts ago, just like how as a DJ, it's hard to put people on the new music now too, because they just want to hear what they want to hear.
They want to hear their part. So what I do nowadays as a DJ is I am who I am. So I'm still giving you those transitions. I'm still giving you those cuts and those scratches, but I'm doing it to where it's tolerable. You know what I mean? So that the people in the crowd that know, they know. And the people in the crowd that don't know, didn't miss it and didn't care. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like they still heard their song. They still heard the part of their song. They still was on the dance floor. They still was doing their thing. But the people that could appreciate the skill part of it, they got it too.
Everybody eats.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's how you stay relevant. That's how you stay relevant in this game. That's how you stay relevant. You gotta move with the times, right? So because I've been doing this over 35 years, I can't just be mad at what's happening right now. I gotta move with what they doing. But I gotta find a way to do it and stay relevant and stay popping. Yeah.
What would you say, like, okay, you DJing, you already in love with music, you coming out of high school, you DJing like the party scene in Buffalo. What would you say around in that 90s era? What was the most popping like party scene that you were a part of?
Oh, well, yeah. Is when we started, myself and Mark L. Fuller did the IPE. The IPE was a teenage dance spot for high schoolers.
Okay.
And it ran consecutively probably over, it didn't even start with me. It actually started before me. Mark Fuller started it with DJs that I mentioned earlier. Then when I came along in the 90s, him and myself just took it to another level. But that party, people that watch this podcast, like even to this day, when I say, yo, if you from the IPE era or whatever, and throw your hands up, and I start dropping that Biggie set and that all those 90s hits from the IPE, people lose their mind because I was playing those songs when they was new. You know what I'm saying? Like there are songs like Total Can't You See and songs that Bad Boy dropped that, I mean, I know Diddy, whatever, but what I'm saying is that I got those records directly from that record label. You understand what I'm saying? And so I was playing those songs, breaking those songs when they were new. Yeah. So some of these DJs playing these classics, throwbacks, like I literally was playing them first, like when
I was
they was
getting
new.
them from
from the actual people. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So the IPE in Buffalo, New York, that's gonna be a staple. That's one of the biggest staples in the town.
Where was that located?
On Main Street. It's not even, they just tore it down and made so across the street from Metropolitan.
Yeah.
It was a bingo hall.
Like where Mammoth Studios.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was a bingo hall downstairs. That's what it was. It was owned by the Gator family. It was a bingo hall downstairs. Yeah. And we turned it into a nightclub. Man, we used to break down all the tables and chairs because they was playing bingo in there. By the time the high school students got there, and I'm saying high school students, I was in high school too. I mean, we was all, but by the time they got there, oh man, please.
Fire.
That joint looked like a club.
That's so dope.
It was crazy. It was crazy. And we ain't have all this Facebook and all that then.
Yeah, it's word of mouth. Like you
man,
gotta
what?
be there.
Flyer game, man.
Street teams.
What? Flyer game, street team. We used to be out 4 a.m. on. This is a key, and I'm gonna give somebody a Jew because I guarantee you they're gonna go back to this. We used to get the big 11 by 10s, 11 by 9, whatever the posters was, right? And we always used to hit the bus routes, the 8 Main, 12, 26 Delavan. I still know these bus routes by heart, and I ain't caught a bus in 30 years, but I'm just saying. Because we used to go and hit all the bus stops with the fresh joints, and we did it at 4 in the morning so that when people got up to go to school in the morning,
You seen it first thing.
they seen it, boom, them big, bright, pink, yellow, and white the pink and yellow flyers on the poles. And that's how we packed it out every year, every week.
That's so dope.
Flyers, yeah.
Do you think that strategy will work for any type of event or just like really specifically high school, since they're the ones who normally are taking the metro?
Not nowadays.
I think you could. It will work maybe like downtown, like the train, because you got business district, all the people that's going to like the Sabres
But
games. And
let me
arenas
tell
and
you,
stuff like that.
and this is why I think it worked then versus versus why it wouldn't work now. You gotta think back then everybody ain't had a cell phones. They wasn't
distracted.
They wasn't distracted.
Yeah,
Ain't nobody riding around looking at no poles nowadays.
that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I still trip out when I see somebody putting something on the pole, and I'm like, I notice it because I'm from that era. Ain't nobody checking for no pole stuff no more.
That's a fact.
Think about it.
Yeah, that's
Nah,
a
yeah.
I'm talking about high school. High school, like I'll be real surprised if from when we was in high school to now. You know what I mean? Yeah, because they was looking. Back then, man, we was in high school looking for flyers because that's how we knew what was popping. We was looking for flyers.
and like you're right, because their head is down on their phone most of the time. Even if they look up and see a flyer, it's like, well, I didn't see that on my timeline, so it's not really important.
Were beepers a thing, or was it like beepers heavy when you was in high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Beepers was a thing. Yeah.
I don't want to.
Go ahead.
So, boom, you doing these high school parties, and you were breaking these songs at you said the IPE.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get in touch with these record labels in order to get these records first at that time?
So, all right. So now, I'm about to touch the souls of a lot of DJs that remember this. So back then, you wanted to be the DJ that had the songs first, right? So Civic from New Style Records had a record store on Bailey. Obviously, we all know the staple in the community, Doors Records.
Absolutely.
But a group of us DJs used to ride to Brooklyn to Beach Street Records on Fulton Street. You may have heard Biggie talk about it in the memoir. Not Biggie, but in that. So Fulton Street, Beach Street Records on Fulton was a place in Brooklyn. And that's where we used to drive to get these. Now, this was before I was on radio, though. Now, when I was on radio, they came to me. But before I was on radio, we used to drive to Brooklyn and get all that music first. And then we came back and broke the music. That's how we did it. That's how we did it. And then radio was so much bigger back then because radio broke songs, right? So then when we went to radio, when we heard something on the radio or we heard something was coming out, we used to speak to A&Rs. That's why A&Rs was a big thing, Back then they were more important. Now a lot of these young, artists and new artists, I ain't gonna call them young, but new artists is A&R in their own music, right? A&R, that job is not really that big of a job no more because everybody A&R in their own stuff. But back then, in the 90s, that was a big job because that's how they got the music out.
Okay.
That's how they got the music out. So the answer to your question is yeah, we drove to Brooklyn, Beach Street Records, Fulton, and because they always had the stuff first. And then they was like, yo, y'all drive up here 8 hours every week to come get this? Y'all know we got a mailing thing. I was like, oh. I used to hate driving to Brooklyn, man. How kid you not? Because they drive reckless down there. I'm in there in my Cavalier, Chevy Cavalier, hoping I don't get sideswiped. You know what I'm saying?
Hope you don't get double parked and you get stuck somewhere.
I can't. And listen, and that's all we did. We drove to the record shop and we got out. Like, we ain't like we was down there sightseeing. Mm-hmm. We got in and out. So I was like, yeah, you can do this by mail order. Oh, thank you.
Saved me a lot of time.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's
That's how we used to get the music first, though.
Okay. So then, boom, you doing the parties. How'd you transition? Did you start going into clubs? Were you already in?
Yeah, so I started doing clubs before I was old enough to get in. And Buffalo Buffalo had, back then they had 2 real clubs. One was called Jasmine's, where DJ JR and everybody. If you were a celebrity, it's a charter school now. That club Jasmine's. It was on Genesee and Michigan and Genesee, Michigan. It was, yeah, it was a green building. That was a charter school.
Okay.
It's a charter school now, but that was a club. Pinnacle. Biggie was there. I sat up in the VIP. Him, Faith, Lil C's, Changing Faces. Anybody that came to the town came to Jasmine's. So that was one club, and then the rest of its spots was just bars.
Okay.
Yeah, just like now. We got a bunch of bars. The club seemed starting to come back, but we had a bunch of bars.
Well, the name that comes to mind when I was a kid, I used to always hear was Birchfields.
Yep. So Birchfields, the Oak Room nowadays, Birchfields was more of a bar.
Wait, Birchfields was where the Oak Room is?
Birchfields is the Oak Room.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I never knew that.
I've never even heard of Birchfields.
Man, that's that's crazy.
Birchfields is the Oak Room. Well, yeah, it was Birchfields, right? Dennis Wilson, Kurt, and all them boys took it over from the owner, Dave, back when it was Birchfields, and they made it the Oak Room.
I'm thinking of a spot.
So now there was another club called Sensations. Sensations was the old spaghetti warehouse. That used to be a spaghetti warehouse.
That's the one that's downtown.
Downtown.
Yeah.
Right. So like I said, it was Jasmine's, then Sensations came along. Town Ballroom didn't come along till the 2000s. And Artie's the owner. I want to be corrective when I say stuff. Town Ballroom wasn't really made for us, for real. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So we started. He started letting us do parties in there, certain clubs, certain concerts, and you got to be careful. So Town Ballroom came along, in the 2000s. I did one of the biggest parties there. One of my birthday bashes was there. I want to say it was probably 30. I was 30 something, and I packed it out crazy. Cat Williams was doing a show, so I timed it out beautifully. Like, yeah, let's do DJ HASSAN birthday party same night Cat Williams is here.
Crazy.
Everybody came from Cat Williams in Buffalo to DJ HASSAN party at the Town Ballroom.
I know,
it was insane.
Movie.
Yeah, it was insane. And then speaking of that, can't forget about the Golden Nugget. Those was all bars though. We didn't have but when you say club, nightclubs was, we had a club called the Club Squeeze. That was a club. We had Crawdaddies, which is now Templeton Landing.
Okay.
Back in the day, it was Crawdaddies. And then, like I said, you had Club 2001. That was more for them. We came along, but that was the Club 2000. So there was more clubs back in the day than it is nowadays.
Oh no, I'm sure of that, because I feel like one of the issues that artists face in Buffalo right now, that's from the town, is not having enough places for hip hop and just performing and doing all of that. Were those places that you mentioned allowing local hip hop acts to perform or do local shows? No,
there was only a few. And I'll tell you, the spot that Quincy Morris ran, and I was just thinking about that because it's on the corner of Maine and, is it Minnesota there?
Yeah, it was Broadway Joe's.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was one of the only spots that did hip hop acts. Mm-hmm. That was it. Because wasn't nobody really rocking with hip hop shows right there. It was only just little small pocket venues that was allowing hip hop acts even back then.
Word. Yeah.
Wise Guys was a spot too. Wise Guys.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of older listeners listening to
Oh,
this.
yeah, hey,
listening to this one.
It's really for the younger folks so they can know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, y'all getting the history lesson. They probably on their phones like, what
Please,
in the
do your
world is
Googles.
Hassan
They
talking
should.
about?
Do your Google.
Yo, mama, you hear this dude? Yeah.
Come sit down, baby.
Come leave it in. They got that old head. They got that old head on the joint, man. Go listen to what he talking about right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you said that there weren't many spots back then for local acts to perform, and there aren't really many spots now for local acts to perform.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think it's just Buffalo being receptive to like the local talent and really wanting to give them a platform and places to where they can display their talent?
Again, I'm gonna tell y'all like it is, man, and I think a lot of people could probably agree with me is that we don't own nothing.
That part.
So we gotta hope that they be receptive enough, or if they want to take a chance at letting hip hop in their venues, right? Because they don't know it's artists, and I gotta say Aki obviously, but there's like I'm gonna tell you something. The hustle ENT. That Hassan performed with Aki Jr. that performed with, right? I've been to some of the, I've judged their events, I've been to their events, and I've watched these local hip hop acts. Milky's on Elmwood or Milk on Elm Daylight. And I watch these hip hop groups and I'm like, everybody is chill. It's no beef. It's all love. It's no drama. And I'm thinking, why aren't there more people allowing this type of stuff to happen? Idris Wajik just did something at the
AKG.
AKG. Beautiful, right? So it can be done. It can be done, but it's a matter of who you know and how you can get into it. And that's why it's limited. That's why again, and I think it's just because we personally we don't have it. We don't have the resources. And people are, they just, I mean, to be quite honest, man, they're leery. Yeah. They're leery.
And hip hop has built a reputation for itself. You know what I'm saying? From your era. You know what I'm saying? Like I could, of course I was a kid, but I'm hearing stories of Birchfields. I'm hearing stuff like from New York City and the tunnel, stuff like that. Like it wasn't the safest necessarily space.
No, and it's because and again, this is strictly my opinion. So you had different sets of hip hop, right? You had gangster rap, then you had rappers like Common, rappers like Nas, rappers like it was what they were talking about, right? Then you had rappers like MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice, right? Those entertainers, those dancing and singing rappers, right? They can go in and do a party, but they not letting groups like MWA, Bone Thugs and Harmony and all them and Cube and them do a hip hop show, because like you said, it was the stigma attached to hip hop, So it's the same way now. It's the same way now. Unless you got a ton of money and you buy your way into these venues, you're not getting in.
And what makes me think, because like I've talked to some older heads about like how they got their start in hip hop, and a lot of the drug dealers were funding a lot of the equipment and parties and stuff like that for these acts, these DJs to get big.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because I'm like, we got all the equipment, but we didn't get the spaces.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing to see that what's happening now. Like I like a lot of the black businesses and a lot of the black bars and private owned stuff that's happening right now. I like the way that's going right now, and it's starting to finally seem like we're turning the page a little bit. And it seems like that, even those other spots that didn't necessarily want hip hop in, it seemed like they're opening their doors a little bit more too.
Need to, yeah.
Because they're starting to see like, you know what, this is okay. This is all right.
Absolutely.
So big shout out to the people that are allowing these hip hop acts in and stuff like that.
So we got a top 5 segment.
Okay.
Kind of self-explanatory. So Did you ever get into like producing as well, or just strictly DJing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I built the recording studio that Aki is working in now. I built it in 2000 with Kid Cole, who's probably one of the well-known producers in the town. He helped me build that studio. So I used to make beats and make it now, and I'm more of a mix engineer now. That's what I do in the studio. So I make people's stuff sound good. I can't make you a beat no more, but I can make your beat sound good.
You got the ear. You got the ear.
So I just wanted to ask that just to get a little bit of backstory. So, what are your top 5 like best put together albums?
Oh, best put together albums that I heard. Now that's crazy because I don't
Whether it's
listen
from
to
your era or now, just all
Yep,
time.
but
for you.
okay. So, and I can go from my era to now. Okay, so it's good because I don't listen to a lot of whole albums. But of course, I gotta go In My Lifetime. Then I gotta go Ready to Die. Then I gotta go It Was Written, Nas. Then I gotta go, believe it or not, what's the album that Drake had with Furthest Thing?
Nothing was the same.
Nothing Was the Same. And the reason I say that, the reason why I say that is because I played that album all the way through and didn't skip one song. I didn't skip one song. And I gotta tell y'all this, and it's sickening to me. The album that I just recently listened to, and I've been with this, and I've been knowing this dude forever. Everybody Can't Go. Let me tell you, Everybody Can't Go. The Butcher, and the Butcher. Now, the reason why I put him in there is because I finally listened to the album and did not skip a song. I did not hit
Why'd you
the
say
skip
it's sickening
button.
to say that one?
Because the reason is because I felt like I should have been put that in there.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the fact that it's crazy because it's so many that I like. But when I say top 5 right now, the whole albums, it would definitely be them. Definitely be them. I probably need top 10, but I gotta stick to the rules. Gotta stick to the rules.
You got 5 best put together albums?
Best put together. I don't know if I got 5, but ones that come to mind, just once again from my area was.
We could do 5 collectively between me and you.
Yeah, we could do that. I'm definitely throwing Illmatic in there,
Okay.
and I'm throwing Good Kid, Mad City in there.
Okay.
As a cohesive, you could throw 2 more in there.
Get Rich or Die Trying.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, that's in there.
Nice.
Victory Lap.
Victory Lap was definitely a full joint.
I didn't skip a song on the Massacre for 50 Cent either.
Massacre was dope.
I did not skip a song on the Massacre.
We got one more now. We got one more.
No, I'm trying to.
I'm looking at the wall and shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to go back.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
I'm with it.
Kanye.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Any of those.
Okay. Yeah. I'll reserve my stories about Yeezy.
Got some feelings about Ye? He's a controversial figure.
Well, you gotta think, but from radio, I interviewed a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And the one with Ye didn't go that well, so I'm gonna reserve. That was when college dropout. College, he came to the station, and actually, shout out to Kendra G. Y'all get Kendra G. I'll holler at her. She big time now, but she was my co-host one time on BLK. Now she's global everywhere, but so she took that interview over. And her and Yeezy hit it off well back then, so she did that.
Yeah, we love to sit down with her, man.
Shout out to her.
Yeah.
So we have a third eye segment.
Okay.
So where we talk about spirituality, controversial opinions, unpopular opinions, stuff like that.
Okay.
So I know we were talking to Aki, and he's also saying that he doesn't smoke and doesn't drink. and Hassan is typically it's like a Muslim name, right? You Muslim?
Yep. No, we're not Muslim.
You're not Muslim?
My father was into the Muslim religion. His best friend that passed away gave him that name to give to me. But we don't practice that
Gotcha.
because of what he gave him that name, because it means a couple different names. It's one name. It means one thing in Arabic. It means another thing in Muslim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. And during that era of like that time you coming up, they had the Wu-Tang, the 5%ers doing knowledge. Knowledge itself was a heavy staple. How did the knowledge itself aspect of hip hop, how did it impact you in your style?
I would say that it balanced me because, first of all, music to me is pure entertainment. And as a DJ, it didn't affect me either way, but it definitely balanced me and gave me a bigger perspective of that. It keeps you balanced because they're talking that at the same time I'm mixing, I'm listening to NWA. So if that answers your question, it kept me more balanced than anything.
That's surprising to hear from you when you say music is purely entertainment. Because a lot of people would say like they feel like a spiritual connection to music and what it provides and what it does for people, how it makes crowds move, how it can you can change the entire temperature of a room with the switching of a.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, and that's what makes a great DJ and a great entertainer. I can't get too emotionally attached or feel a certain way about a certain genre. I got to be well versed and well rounded at everything, right?
Absolutely.
Because it's entertainment. My job is to entertain you. So if I'm too emotionally attached to what I'm playing, I can't control the room. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm in my feelings mixing, right? I'm mixing. And I'm listening to, what Common's saying or what Ye is saying or what such and such is saying. And so, and truthfully, like, because when I ride, a lot of times I ride in silence in my car or I'm listening to jazz or gospel. You understand what I'm saying? For sure. So yeah, that's why. Now, for artists, it might be different.
Gotcha.
Artists got to have a physical connection or something because they're speaking their truth.
They're creating it.
They're creating it and they're speaking their truth. That's why.
No, that's dope. That's dope. And so I think I'm pretty sure I mentioned it on here. I don't know if I mentioned it. Did I talk about? Did I ever mention my tattoo and how I got? Yeah. So, like Grandmaster Flash is known for creating the two turntables, and he had a math formula. Like I'm a math teacher.
Okay.
So he had a math formula where he created like a math equation for DJing. So what I did was, that's how I ended up getting this symbol, taking that, chopping up his formula and creating a symbol out of it.
Oh, okay.
It's that symbol right there on the wall.
Yeah.
Right here. Yeah.
So when you got into DJing, did you like do the full science on it? Did you like go through the full history, or was it just something you just appreciated for what it was?
So I think I mentioned this earlier, but it's like, so when I got into DJing, I learned a little bit of music theory. Beats per measure, BPM. So how fast a song was going and how many beats to a measure, because that's how you kept your transitions, they call them back then. Now they call them, but back then it was blends. So that's how you had your blends tight and you had your beats per measure. So we really didn't get into. Yeah, so like, in music, there's you got a 4 count, you got an 8 count, you got 16, or you got 16 bars, 4 bars, 8 bars. It's the same thing in DJing, right? So you dropping that beat on the 1, 2, 3, boom, it's time to come in on 4. You know what I mean? If that's answering your question.
No, I definitely get it.
Yeah.
It's making me think too, like, as we slowly transition out of it. Back then, how were y'all? Like now, DJs got Serato. It gives you the tempo. It gives you
right.
BPM.
Yep.
So back then were y'all just knowing which songs to play from just pure practice?
No, so on the record, it'll tell they. It's funny, but y'all dating the mess out of me. So on the record, it'll tell you how many beats per minute it was, and then we used to line our crates up, our music crates up, based on the beats per minute. So we had milk crates. You know what I'm saying? So all the records that was 90 beat per M was in that crate. All the Luke records that was 120, 125, and it's your birthday and all that, and that was 125 beats per minute, 130. So that was in that crate. And we mixed accordingly.
Fire.
Yeah. Now, the computer will tell you, hey, go to that crate, it's there.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. Word. No, that's super dope. Can we talk about your time, how you got into WBLK and your time there?
Yeah, so I spent 22 years on WBLK, and I started off, believe it or not, as an overnight board operator. So overnight board operator, all this job was to do was make sure that station stayed on. I was changing the tapes, making sure the program stayed on. You know, I might be up there on the couch sleep, but just making sure, okay, 30 minutes, time to change the tape. Okay. So then I got into gospel with the gospel queen, Pat Reagan, who taught me how to actually use the board, how to fade up the song, fade out the song, fade in the song, fade out a song. And so I've truly paid my dues when it comes to radio. And then what happened was, rest in peace, Mike Chaz. Mike Chaz, y'all might have heard him on the air before. One night, they were submitting tapes. They were looking for DJs, mixers and stuff, right? So I submitted a tape. I had already worked there. I submitted a tape from within. And Mike Chaz walked in and was like, yo, this you? I was like, yeah, man, that's me. So then I got a mix show. And I started doing mix shows, Saturday night mix shows. Then Al Wood used to do the Quiet Storm. Drake mentioned Al Wood before. Al Wood taught me how to talk on the microphone and gave me a shot on air. And then that's how I got in, and I was just in.
So how did you initially get the position as the board operator? You just applied, or did you know somebody in there?
No, Hags, nah. My man Skip Dillard, who was the program director back then, and now he's a big time in New York City. I was already known in the city, Buffalo's Bad Boy DJ Hassan. I was already known as a popular DJ in the town. So DT from Late Night Noise was already on WBLK, Hooker, Dawn, all them, you know, rest in peace, Dawn, all them, they was already on WBLK. So when Skip Dillard said, yo, we need somebody from Buffalo, from the town, they just came and got me. They came and got me, and said, hey man, let's get you in radio. Because I had already made my name in the streets. I had already made my name in doing high school parties, IPEs, and Juneteenths and all that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was a blessing to be brought into radio from the streets.
And how?
Give me 1 second. Yo, cuz. Not much. I'm sitting here with DJ Hassan. I was calling you because he DJed your party before you dipped, and I'm like, I know you know him. I know it might be a question that you may want to know. So I'm like, I want to know if you had any questions for DJ Hassan. We live on the air.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. What's goody?
You got any questions? Any questions for him from back in that era?
This is what I need. I need a mixtape. What gonna get another mixtape, man.
Wow. Yeah, man. So it's crazy because that the one mixtape I did, I Reminisce, and Under Pressure and all that. So I got people out there right now, and I promise you, man, I'm bringing that tape back out. I did those tapes 25 years ago.
Crazy.
I got people still looking for them, so I'm bringing them back out. I'm bringing them back out.
Listen, we need to cover those down this way in Texas, man.
No doubt.
I appreciate you, cuz. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, peace.
Peace.
What part of Texas he in?
Right outside Dallas.
Okay, yeah, because he was just in Houston for my birthday last year. Had a ball.
Yeah, but I want to say, he had a party. My cousin Narvell, he had the party, and you was DJing, and you ain't had no turntables. You just had like a mixer.
Oh, so that had to be in the 2000s.
Yeah,
That had to be in the 2000s.
Yeah, you just had a mixer. I'm like, yo, how is he doing this?
Yep. So listen, I might have had just a mixer. Either I had a mixer and the CDJs. Well, did I have CDs or did you see a computer? You remember?
It was a computer.
Yep. So that's when I had just switched to Serato and I didn't have a CDJ yet. So I had learned how to mix internally. I just learned how to mix internally.
No joint.
I'm like, boom. I was like, oh, they should have never taught me this. They should
so
have never,
crazy.
because you got to think. See, back then I could only do one party a night. You know what I'm saying? Now I can do 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? I can literally go from party to party. That's the beauty of technology. That's why I don't hate it.
Yeah.
That's why I don't hate it, man. I can rock a party from the day party from 2 to 5, then go do one, you know what I'm saying, from 7 to 9, then go close out somewhere from 11 to 2. So that's the beauty of what's happening right now.
For sure.
That technology. But just getting back to WBLK.
Okay.
So how far into being a board operator were you, like months or years?
Oh,
until
it
you
was
to
at least,
to get your show.
I was at least 2, maybe a year and a half, 2 years, just learning the board, because back then it was more, it was strict. It was strict. There was a code, and it was less computerized back then. So you had to know what you was doing, and there were things they used to call them air checks. You know, you would sit with your manager after your show, because every time you hit the mic, you were recorded. Mm-hmm. And they would go over your air check. Hey, you shouldn't have said that. That wasn't said right. You missed this, you missed that. You know what I'm saying? So, but before you can touch the microphone, you had to learn how to work the board first. So it took me a good 2 years before I really got on air and stuff like that. And then it took probably, 10 years before I had my own real show. Mm. Yeah, before I had my own real, because I was just part-time. I was part-time forever. I was part-time just doing weekends. It took 10 years before I got my own real show. And then I had my own real show on Sundays, Throwback Sundays. And then I became full-time midday for a while. And then after full-time middays, that's when Ed Nice took over. Ed Nice became the PD and full-time middays. Okay. Yeah. Ed Nice from Buffalo. He went to Bennett with us. Yeah, he went to Bennett with me. Yeah.
Super dope.
Yeah.
Super dope. I'm trying to think of anything. We getting close. I know you said
Okay,
you had
yeah. My daughter's birthday party. Not birthday, graduation party.
Graduation. Congrats to her too.
Yeah, shout out to you. Appreciate you. Yeah.
What would you say are some of just if you can just think off the top of your head, some of your favorite moments from your time working at WBLK?
Oh man, I used to love our street presence when we used to go out and do live remotes, live to air. You know, we would go live from the club and be live on the air. Those are some of my favorite times there. The mix shows, with me and Kendra, was great. Those are some of the guys, because, we brought turntables up there and we just mixed. We went live, So those are some of my favorite times at the station. And then a few of the interviews. I mean, I had the opportunity to interview Benny Siegel, Chris Brown, Lil Bow Wow. Those were their names back then. You know what I mean? So, the interviews, Raheem Devine, places, people like that. So some of the big interviews I had over the years on the radio, those were some of the fun times.
Super dope. And my last question is, do you think DJs today can still break artists like they did back then?
Yeah, 100%. But now you gotta be a big name DJ yourself. Like right now, honestly, I don't think my name is big enough to actually break a real artist, because like there's just too many. It's oversaturated. So unless you a DJ Khaled, DJ Mustard, DJ, shout out to Jazzy Jeff, Kid Capri, all them boys that's been around and still relevant out there. Some of these big name DJs, Tech Nine, all these big name DJs, like they can actually break songs because they have relevant shows. The more relevant you are as a DJ right now, if you have 1 million followers, 1 million plus, that sort of thing, you could break artists and break. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, can I break a local artist right now? Yes, because I feel like I'm still relevant and people pay attention to what I'm saying. And so, but as far as on the grand national stage, you gotta be somebody. Yeah, because if ain't nobody checking for you, how you gonna play an artist and break them?
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So if people wanted to get in contact with you, probably book you for a party, book you for a wedding show, anything, how would they do that?
Yeah, call my cell phone. No, I'm just kidding.
Hit my line.
No, but seriously, because my website is big. It's www.getdjhassan.com. I ain't got to why people keep saying www? You ain't got to say that no more. It's getdjhassan.com. I'm on IG at Buffalo's Bad Boy. Yeah, people still use Facebook. They still use Facebook. I ain't got TikTok. Yeah. The Facebook, hit me on Facebook. Yeah. You can Google me. I'm on Google. I'm starting to sound like an old head now. Hey Siri.
Who is DJ? Get DJ Hassan.
Get DJ Hassan. I'm still around. I'm a big wedding DJ. I do a ton of weddings. I do more weddings than anything. Don't really do the clubs no more, but I still do the big weddings. So. Yeah, you can catch me on Thursday. It's at the jukebox. We still doing it.
It's lit.
It's still going down. Yeah,
whoa.
Yeah.
Man,
we appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, no doubt. I think
Definitely.
y'all coming. I was looking online, seeing everybody. I'm like, shoot, when they gonna ask me to come?
Oh yeah, we seen him at the what was that the Black Fashion Runway? What was that?
Black carpet.
Yeah.
You sitting right across me. I'm like, nah. I was like, yeah, we got
next.
We making this happen.
No doubt. No, I appreciate y'all for real.
No label the pod. We out.
Peace.